I grew up in the ghetto of Atlanta, Georgia, called Perry Homes. Life was hard. It wasn't easy. Things like powdered milk, government cheese, bread that lasts about 6 months. That was like everyday stuff for us. Gang activity was kind of big then, and my mom, she wasn't really having it. So she always, every summer, she sent my brother and I to my grandfather's farm in Alabama, Roanoke, Alabama. And my grandfather was a huge man, also very, very, very nice. And I learned from him one of the things that has driven my life from today all the way back and also in the future. He would always tell us to do things. He had a lot of grandchildren. We were all there during the summer. And my grandfather would say, as an example, I want you to take your cousins, go over there and fix that fence. And when you're like 9 years old, you get close to the fence, you see a fence and a lake. All right? What gets your attention? And before you know it, you're like, whee! And he wasn't the kind of person that came and yelled at you. He didn't say a word. He did it himself. He never said it twice, but he never forgot it. And when we came up later asking, Granddad, can I have some money? I want to buy some candy or something like that. He would always just say, did you fix the fence? I said, oh, I can do it now. And he said, well, if you want corn, plant corn. And as an 8-year-old, 9, 10, you don't know what that means. You know what I mean? But my grandmother would explain it to us. And he said it so much from this age until this, And by the time my grandfather left us, it was like a root in me. Drove everything I did. Years after that, I found myself in the Army. I found myself in Desert Storm, hostile situation. Wasn't the easiest thing in the world to handle. One of the things that drove me in that situation was, if you want corn, plant corn. And it's hard maybe to make that connection, but what I was telling myself then is, if it's your turn to do this, then do it. If you want these results, you have to do it. When it's time to be the lookout, you got to be the lookout. When it's time to clean your weapon, you got to clean your weapon. When it's time to eat, it's time to eat. Whatever you want. The thing about it is, what I found out, because we use this a lot today, even in my business, and I don't want to really talk about that, but what I found out is that some people want corn, but they plant onions. You understand what I mean? And then they get pissed off when they get onions. It's like, duh. Whatever you put in is what you get out. That's the way it normally works. And when I moved to Sweden, I've been living in Sweden now for the past 20 years, and as a foreigner in Sweden, people always ask when you go to a party, what brought you to Sweden? And I always say, what do you think? Right? Her name is Anne, right? And we met in Germany, and I'm not really going to go through all of that. But the thing is, when I saw her, one of the first things that hit me was, I was feeling it, you know what I mean? She wasn't really, but anyway, I had to work at it. But I'm telling you, I am not joking. One of the things I was thinking about was, if you want corn, plant corn. No. And I was thinking, you can't go up to her and try to be cool and all of that. You got to leak some tenderness, affection, and blah, 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 all of these type of things. And then maybe, if you're lucky, you might be living together one day. And then I moved to Sweden. That was interesting. That was really interesting. I came to Sweden, and it's like cold, right? It's like cold. And I met all of these different things that I had to try to get through. And what I found out is that this became a central part of the way I do things. I work with performance. That's what I do. And I was thinking, I'm going to come here today, and I don't want to talk about what I do, but talk about my job. But then it hit me. My job is who I am. I am performance. It's all about me. That's what I'm doing from 8 years old up until now. That's what it's all about. And one of the things that has been driving me in that situation all the time is corn thoughts. 3 words: faith, preparation, execution. You got to have faith. If you want to do it, you're going to have people around you all the time. In Atlanta, Georgia, Samuel Howard Archer High School, where I grew up, and I had teachers telling me, you're never going to be nothing, Knight. And I was like, well, we'll see. And of course, it hurts when you hear it, but still, I mean, that's a lemon if you ever seen one, right? But here I am. And I also know that faith by itself, it can't really do it. I mean, you got to have it. You got to be standing on something. But you also have to get prepared. Be ready to do when it's time to do. Preparation. And then the last one is the hardest one, execution. What we like to say is execute or evacuate. Either do it or just move out of the way. Get yourself out of the situation where you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. I'll give you a situation. When I came to Sweden, life was kind of tricky. You understand? I guess you all do because you're Swedish. I don't know. But the thing is, it wasn't really the easiest adapt in the world for me when I was walking around because I'm American and I was friendly. You know, I showed up here and I was in love. You know what I mean? So everything was happy. Life was just like a big party, right? And me being the way I am, I was always saying hello to people, right? Walking down the street, a woman passed us, and I would say, hello, you know, and they would look at me like, who is that, you know? And the next person, hello, how you doing? Who is this guy? And my wife was like, would you please stop doing that? And I'm like, well, where I'm from, that's the way. And she said, but you're not there now. And in Sweden, we don't say hello to people. I was like, you got to be joking me. And she said, seriously, Manuel, if you don't know them, don't say hello. Then I said, well, how do you get to know people? Right? And she said, just do it. And what I found out is when you're trying to get yourself in a situation where you want to be, you have to adapt some things. Nobody is like the core them all the time. For me, these rituals, as an example, in Sweden, they were hard to understand. You know, guys hugging each other. It's cool. It's cool. But it was hard in the beginning. You know what I mean? And the communication ritual really set me aside. So I'll give you a situation. One time I'm out. When I came to America, to Sweden, I was still kind of mentally, military. You know what I mean? So I got up every morning. I did push-ups and sit-ups and run 3.2 kilometers. And in the evening, I was around our little apartment, checking for fighting spaces, Don't think about it, but it's just the way I was, right? And I was out there one night, and I'm walking through this little tunnel. And this woman was coming towards me, and it's dark because it was like 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? Sweden. And you know what I mean, right? And the problem was I saw her, but she didn't see me. Understand? And I'm thinking, wait a minute, this might not work. So I tried making some noise. I was like, but she still didn't really register me. And when she got close enough to see me, it seemed like all of a sudden to her. And she looked up and she was like, oh, like this. You know what I mean? And it wasn't one of those, oh, I want you, guys know the difference, right? And I'm thinking to myself, if she's afraid, she should just turn around and run away. But she didn't do that. She kept coming. Now, is this a Swedish ritual? Right? When you see danger, you don't run away because it might be rude. All right? You just keep coming and hope things work out. You know what I'm saying? Right? So she's coming towards me, and I see she's having a problem with it. So I'm thinking to myself, I need to do something to help this woman. So I'll just say, hey, because that's the Swedish word for hello, okay? So she got close enough, and I was kind of nervous too, you understand? Because, hey. So I was like, hey, and when I said it, I thought this woman was going to pass out. She grabbed her bag. Now, you got to understand, I'm still military-minded, you understand? So when she grabbed her bag, it kind of threw me in a defense, and I was like, hey, like this. And she dropped the bag and ran away. And I'm a gentleman, so I can't leave her bag there. So I picked the bag up, right? And I took it home. And when I get home, my wife was like, whose bag is that? And I told her, if the police come, I didn't do nothing. And my wife's like, what happened, baby? And I told her what happened. And then she said, wait a minute, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's normal. And I said, that was not normal. And she said, yes, it is, because I told you, you got to listen to me. In Sweden, we don't speak to people if we don't know them. I said, okay, I got it. Now, everybody understand? Easy. Easy to apply, easy to understand, easy to adjust. But sometimes when we're trying to adjust, we have to understand there are so many variables, and it takes time. Everybody understand what I'm saying? If you want corn, plant corn. If you plant corn today, you don't eat corn on the cob tomorrow. It takes time, right? Everybody understand? A month after this situation happens, we're out doing this other Swedish ritual. It's called skogspromenad, right? It means walking in the bushes, right? So, and Swedes do it. They love it. We go out to the bushes with no purpose whatsoever. You just walk around and then see who can find the car, right? So we're walking in the bushes, and I'm kind of stressed because I asked my wife, I'm a soldier, right? I'm saying, baby, what's the objective? And she said, just keep going, just keep going. And she's behind me, and she's doing the way Swedish people like to do it. You know, she's smelling the bushes, tasting the bushes, right? And we're on this little path, and all of a sudden, a woman jumps out of the bushes. I mean, not like jumps, but she comes right on the path in front of me, like, poop. You understand? She's all happy, rubber boots up to here. Now, she's walking towards me. Sometimes in these situations, we think we have it all figured out. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Life will throw you a curveball. And when that happens, you have to have somewhere to rest. In my case, it was these face preparation execution. If you're in it, be in it. If you're going to do it, then do it, okay? So she's coming towards me, this lady, all right? Now, question to everybody who's Swedish. In the forest, on a skogspromenad, a man and a woman don't know each other, never seen each other, but you're walking towards each other and you're going to pass each other on the same path. Do you say hello? Yes. Do you see my point? But I had learned my lesson, you understand? My wife told me exactly how to do it. So when this woman got close enough, I didn't say a word. I was like... And she stopped and talked to my wife, and when Ann caught up to me, she said, you are so embarrassing. Why didn't you speak to that woman? And I told her, you told me, you know? And she said, yes, baby, but not in the bushes. And when I learned those two perspectives, those aspects, I found out, whoa, wait a second, there's another things and other things and other things. In a small city, you say hello. In a big city, you don't, blah, blah, blah. It takes time. But you got to have a focus. The changing point for me was one Christmas I came in the house. I was going to sneak in to get something to drink. It was kind of cold outside. We're playing, me and my friends. My mom was sitting on the steps, crying. I'm thinking, what's going on? And I went to her and I said, who did something to you? And she just let it all out. She says, I am so sick and tired of never, ever having anything to give my kids for Christmas. And I tried to make her feel all right. I said, it's cool, we don't want anything. And she starts crying, and then we start, you know how it goes. I think that day might have been a turning spot in my life. I remember promising myself, whatever I do, I will not let the ghetto get the best of me. I will be somewhere else. I had no idea where I was going to be. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I just knew I wanted it. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Desire can be so strong, you can affect the people around you. But you got to have faith. And don't just have this blind faith. I mean, blind faith is a good thing, I guess. But you got to get yourself ready. Because one of these days, you might find yourself in the position to do something about it. Then be prepared. Everybody understand? And then if life happens to give you that opportunity, jump in, take it, execute. And what you're going to find out is, when you're doing that, you actually free the people around you. They get to do the same thing, you know? Because if you tell your friends, no, we can't do that, then they might be thinking, if you say, I'm going to try it. And if you fall, you get up, I'm going to try it again. Then you find out your friends start doing the same thing, the people around you. You start affecting people on this horizontal level. And that's what it's all about. You have every right in the world to be beautiful. You have every right in the world to be awesome, gracious, happy, wonderful. And if you be those things, you automatically, unconsciously, let people around you be the same thing. But you got to do it. You want to try it? Yeah. You want to try it? Yeah. All right, let's do this. Everybody pick a partner. I'll show you how to do it. Pick a partner. Let's go. Let's go. Quick, quick, quick. Okay, everybody got a partner, right? All right? We only have 30 seconds, okay? So for the next 30 seconds, your job is to free your partner. I'm serious. You free them. Wait a second, I didn't tell you what to do yet. You make it possible for them to we're going to do an exercise. You want your partner to perform on this level. You understand? Better than they ever performed before. And what we're going to do is we're going to dance. All right? Wait a second now. This is what you can do. And I want you to get your partner to do those moves. You know what I mean? The ones that they said they were never going to show in public. Everybody understand? That's what I'm talking about. You have the ability. So you get 4 seconds to look your partner. Seriously, look your partner square in the eyes and get a commitment. Let's go. Do it. Okay, everybody stand up.
It might seem crazy.
Louder, 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 louder.
Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Awesome. Thank you very, very much. You see what happens? Everybody's doing this wild dance, and I saw some people doing some things that you shouldn't do in public, but it's cool. It's cool. That's what it's all about. You letting go, you let your partner let go. Remember, if you want corn, plant corn. Thanks for your attention, everybody.